guys, it's Sarah and I am here with my third layout using the April Hip Kit. And I am going to be using a sketch today from the Ready Sketch Go Volume 3 class. And it calls for 5 pictures. I'm using 6 because I have all these pictures that are actually really small and I'm cutting them down a little bit even further. So when I saw that there was sketches that use multiple pictures, I got this idea pretty quickly because I knew I had these pictures. So these are all old pictures from when I was in college. A lot of them are with my sorority sisters. And I had all these pictures like in one of those big collage frames and all that. I had quite a few of those like hanging up in apartments and stuff when we were in college. So when I decided to take those frames out of my house, I just kept all those pictures in a shoebox. And so I had gone through and picked out some that I wanted to remember. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of them on here. And this is just kind of random. They don't really have any stories behind the pictures. It's just us going out and having fun, which is what we did a lot in college. And so I'm going to use them up here. And this is going to go into my sorority album that I'm currently working on. All right, so most of these papers that I'm cutting down right now are scraps from my stash, and then the 2 large ones here are from the kit. And this pink background is from Amy Tangerine, and then I'm also going to use the butterfly pattern paper from Maggie Holmes. And then all these other ones here that I've cut down to 4x6, those are just scraps from my stash. Some of them are cardstock and a couple of them are pattern paper. But I'm going to go ahead and lay them out here. And I wanted to do these because I am following along, like I said, with a sketch, but my pictures are not going to line up the same way as the sketch calls for. So I'm kind of doing this as my base to kind of help give me just kind of spaces for my pictures to go, because they're not going to be all grouped together. They're going to be kind of their own little spots. So I'm going to go ahead and put these. They are 4x6, but they are not lining up completely. So there's spaces in between them, especially the ones on the bottom, but that's okay. I'm going to cover up those seams. So I'm just cutting them down to make everything even. And then I'm going to use this washi tape from Amy Tangerine that came in the kit, and it's a pink glitter. And I'm going to kind of use this to separate the papers and to kind of mask the seams there that I have. Just going to put some tape on each line here. I really like those skinny tapes. You can do a lot with them. All right, so I got those there, and that kind of helps make these like 5 separate blocks. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my pictures down. I did have to cut them down a little bit more than what they even were because they were not evenly cut, because when I put them into those little photo collage things, I didn't care about straight lines back then, so I had to clean up the edges on them because they were not even at all. All right, and I have those numbers there that I cut out with my silhouette. Those are part of some of the free cut files that you get along with the class. And those went along with this sketch as well. So I cut those just out of white cardstock on my silhouette, and I'm going to use those here to kind of block out my numbers or block out my sections here. And now I'm just kind of taking some of my scrap pieces of paper that I want to use, and I am kind of layering them up a little bit. I'm matting a couple of the photos with it, and just kind of seeing where I can use up some of this paper here. So I have this yellow. I'm going to mat 2 pictures in this yellow paper. Then I have that plus sign one down there at the bottom as well. And I wanted to use the patterns most definitely on non-pattern paper, just because I didn't want the patterns to be competing with each other. But since that's just a regular cardstock one on the number 4 section, it fit there nicely. Okay, so I matted that picture up there with some pink, and I'm going to cut this piece of yellow paper into a banner and use that along the bottom of it as well. And I'm going to start thinking about my title here in a second. And when I saw that butterfly paper in the kit, that really gave me the idea for my title, because I knew I wanted to do this layout for the class. And then when I saw that paper, I said, oh, butterflies, social butterflies. That's exactly what we were back then. So I'm going to use these Pink Fresh Studio puffy stickers that came in the hip kit, and I'm going to spell out social butterflies. I'm also going to grab these Pink Fresh Studio transparent words, and I'm going to play around with them. I end up not using them though. I think they're just a little bit too much for this layout, so I don't end up using them. I'm going to stick them on here for a second just to kind of let them sit and see what I think, but I am going to eventually just take them off. I really like those words, but they're a little bit harder to use than I was expecting. So I think I really only used them on one layout, maybe two. But yeah. Okay, so I found this transparent sticker from the kit that is in the Chamel die cut pack, and it has balloons on it, so I'm going to use those. No real reason behind it, just, you know, I guess I was thinking partying because that's what we did back then. So I'm going to use them. And then there was also a transparent balloon cluster and then a paper one as well. So I'm just going to use both of those in there and kind of layer them up. And then I picked out a globe that says, let's go on an adventure. And then just some tags and arrows and stuff from the same die cut pack. And now I'm going to play around with these Amy Tangerine rub-ons that I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I do not like these. I like the designs of them just fine, but the actual product is very difficult to use. And as you can see in some of them, there's little pieces missing, and that's because they got caught on my fingers when I was trying to cut out other dye or other rub-ons to use. And if that catches on anything, like it sticks. It doesn't matter what it is. It's stuck on my fingers, it's stuck on paper. So it's really been difficult for me to use these because I've had to throw away almost half the pack because they just got so messed up I could not use them on anything else. So these are not my favorite. And that's not Amy's fault, that's the manufacturer. But yeah, they're just not my favorite. I do use a few up here that end up working. I have a gold banner on the side there, and then I used a little leftover part there. I'm going to use this arrow right here, and then I'm also going to use this little sentiment that says, let's get together. I'm going to cut that out. I'm trying to be very careful right now because I know that this stuff is coming off all over the place. So I'm trying to make sure I don't like accidentally drop it onto something. But I'm going to go ahead and rub it down here. It says, let's get together. And then, let's see, what else am I going to do? I need to start sticking stuff down, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. But yeah, so these, like I said, these pictures really don't have like a specific story behind them. They're just pictures of me and my friends when we would go out and have fun in college. So it was nice just to kind of get these all onto one layout and have those, you know, kind of that basic memory documented with a bunch of different pictures. And I don't do any journaling on this page either because, like I said, I don't have a story behind them. It's just fun. So I kind of think the title speaks for itself there. So I'm just getting these all down. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put my numbers down as well. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get my numbers down. I thought about maybe trying to do some journaling that go along with the numbers, like number 1, here was this picture taken on Halloween, and number 2, this was my bachelorette party, and just, it just didn't happen. So I didn't really feel like I needed all of that, and then when I put the balloons up there, I knew I wasn't going to do any journaling because that's probably the only space I really had to journal, and I filled it up with balloons instead. So I'm good with the way it is. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my title put down up here. And then I have these 2 little washi tape stickers from a very old Crate Paper on Trend washi tape sticker sheet that I've been trying to use up here recently, and I'm going to use the last 2 here. But it has the pinks and some grays and stuff in there, so I think they go along pretty nicely. So I'm just going to use those 2, and that's gone. And then I'm going to use up the rest of these enamel dots here as well in just a second, and that's from Twine and Ink. But before I do that, I'm going to cut out some butterflies from this pattern paper by Maggie Holmes that came in the kit. I'm going to cut a few out, and then I'm going to place them all along my layout here for Social Butterflies, because that is what gave me the name for this layout. So I have one that I'm just going to stick like a little hint of a butterfly up there, and then I am going to I kind of scatter them around. I am going to cut one more because I want to put one up here by the title. And I'm doing this off camera, but I am fussy cutting these, so I have a little bit of a white border around them, but I like the way that they turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. And then I have a couple that are just kind of going off the page. But I'm making sure I have at least one in every little section here. That's like half a butterfly, so I'm just going to stick it there. And then I have two down here at the bottom because I had a little bit more room to work with down there. And now I'm going to go ahead and use up these enamel dots. Like I said, those are from Twine and Ink, and they're like a nice pale pink, so I'm going to go ahead and use up the rest of this package here. Just kind of in some empty spots there. And that's all gone. Yay! I have to throw away two packages that I've had for a while. And I pull out these rubber stickers from Pink Fresh Studio, but none of them really are speaking to me. Move those balloons up a little bit. But that's going to complete my layout. I'm really happy with it, and like I said, I will include a link down below to the Ready Sketch Go classes. There's 3 of them, and they are absolutely wonderful. I hope you guys will go check them out. And I'll be back again real soon with some more layouts for you. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.